This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachapadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. It's Brother Taza Pie here with you with another lesson, another video. And this video, of course, is going to be the latest in the MOTB news, and the MOTB is what I'm reading about here in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right. And again, it says, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this mark is a literal mark, which is going to be injected in all the rebellious men, women, and children around the world. All right, it's a microchip. And I'm bringing this out in light of a video, well, not a video, an article, which goes into the Hegelian dialectic here in the preparation of this microchip, or the MOTB. What you see here on your screen is from Bleeping Computer, and the title reads, Hackers Leak 2.7 billion data records with social security numbers. And this is by Lawrence Abrams, dated August the 11th of this hopeful year of Jacob's Trouble 2024. All right, and all of these elements are coming together to bring about just that, the year of Jacob's trouble, or the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, these events leading up to the MOTB, you got financial catastrophe brewing around the world. You got this identity theft, fraud that's taking place, cyber fraud that's taking place. It's been going on, but you know, now with this 2.7 billion data records, you know, this could possibly bring about the reaction that the powers that be are looking for. And that's how the Hegelian dialectic works. In short, you have problem, reaction, solution. All right, and the problem you can clearly see is a breach in data, a breach of privacy. You know, with these hackers or criminals having access to personal data records of all of these people to do only the Most High knows what with. All right? These create problems, all right, in which the elite look for the desired reaction so that they can bring about the predetermined solution, all right? And the desired reaction is, you know, that we must do something about this identity theft or this fraud, you know, cyber fraud, theft, in which the MOTB is the premeditated solution that they already have. It's so much premeditated that it is prophesied over 2,000 years ago, or about 2,000 so years ago. You know, this was prophesied. So we know that for the elites of Edom, that they've been having this in the making since they've come into power. All right, but we're going to read some of this. Because remember it says, and he causeth all. You know, he, the powers that be, causeth all. He was able to make most of the people in the world bow and take this mark. So let's read about this. All right, it says almost 2.7 billion records of personal information for people in the United States were leaked on a hacking forum exposing names, social security numbers, all known physical addresses, and possible aliases. The data allegedly comes from National Public Data. All right. You might see that as NPD. So the National Public Data, a company that collects and sells access to personal data for use in background checks to obtain criminal records for private investigators. National Public Data is believed to scrape this information from public sources to compile individual user profiles for people in the U.S. and other countries. It goes on to say, in April, a threat actor known as USDOD claimed to be selling 2.9 billion records containing the personal data of people in the US, UK, and Canada that was stolen from National Public Data. At the time, the threat actor attempted to sell the data for $3.5 million and claimed it contained records for every person in the 3 countries. U.S. DOD is a known threat actor who was previously linked to an attempted sale of InfraGard's user database in December of 2023 for $50,000. It says Bleeping Computer at the time contacted National Public Data and never received a response to our email. So it says stolen data leaked for free. Since then, various threat actors have released partial copies of the data, with each leak sharing a different number of records and, in some cases, different data. On August the 6th, a threat actor known as Finis leaked the most complete version of the stolen National Public data for free on the breached hacking forum. However, Finis says the data breach was conducted by another threat actor named SXUL rather than USDOD. So it says the leaked data consists of 2 text files totaling 277 gigabytes and containing nearly 2.7 billion plain text records rather than the original 2.9 billion number originally shared by USDOD. While Bleeping Computer can't confirm if this leak contains the data for every person in the U.S., numerous people have confirmed to us that it included their and family members' legitimate information, including those who are deceased. Each record consists of the following information: a person's name, mailing addresses, and social security number, with some records including additional information like other names associated with the person. None of this data is encrypted. Previously leaked samples of this data also included phone numbers and email addresses, but these are not included in this 2.7 billion record leak. It is important to note that a person will have multiple records, one for each address they are known to have lived. This also means that this data breach did not impact 3 billion people, as it has been erroneously reported in many articles that did not properly research the data. So, let me jump down here. All right, so it says the data breach has led to multiple class action lawsuits against Jericho Pictures, which is believed to be doing business as National Public Data for not adequately protecting people's data. If you live in the U.S., this data breach has likely leaked some of your personal information. As the data contains hundreds of millions of social security numbers, it is suggested that you monitor your credit report for fraudulent activity and report it to the credit bureaus if detected. Furthermore, as previously leaked samples also contain email addresses and phone numbers, you should be vigilant against phishing and SMS texts attempting to trick you into providing additional sensitive information. So, this is the problem, all right? This is the problem which undoubtedly they created, all right, a hacking group called USDOD, all right, which the DOD is the acronym for the Department of Defense, or U.S. Department of Defense. Now, this doesn't implement them directly, but the government always had their hands in this type of, these type of false flag activities. And say, oh, it was, we got to do something about these hackers. And at the same time, this fulfills their quest to, again, micro CHIP every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth, because people are going to start crying out. We got to do something about this. My personal info was stolen. My bank account has been breached. Money was stolen out of my account. All of these things, Until, what they've been preparing for years, they come out to tell you, well, you know what? We got to answer for this, all right? And the answer is, we need to put your information inside of you. How, you ask? By way of the MOTB, which will be an actual micro CHIP. And this is where Revelation 13 comes in. And again, verse 16 says, and he calls it all, So he has this system in place. The World Reserve currency, the U.S. Federal Reserve note, and the SWIFT system attached to it, it's all laden with debt, heavy debt. And it's no longer viable or practical, if you will, to use the U.S. Federal Reserve note. It's just not good business sense, all right, for these other countries. People in America not paying attention, but for these countries like that are in BRICS, the U.S. dollar is bad for business. That's why they got with BRICS. And BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the core countries that are challenging the dollar, challenging the world reserve, the standing world reserve currency, the U.S. Federal Reserve note. All right, so they no longer wish to use that dollar, or use it as less as possible, because they still have to deal with it. But on the same note, they're stocking up on commodities such as gold, silver. They're beefing up their military, getting prepared, because they know from the lessons learned from Gaddafi and before him, Saddam Hussein, they know what happens when you challenge the U.S. Federal Reserve note, which is the world's reserve currency. They know what happens. So they've been preparing for battle. But, through all of this orchestrated chaos, he's causing all right? Through duress, through hardships, through trials and tribulations. And again, the system is already in place, this digital system of cyber or cryptocurrencies, cyber currencies. They're already in place. They've been in existence. Here in America, the CBD system is called Fed Now. And around the world, these other countries, Russia, China included, all of these countries have their own central bank digital currencies up and running, ready to go. So He's going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this cyber fraud scare is just, just the ticket that the elite need to bring about this MOTB. As verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So no man might buy or sell. You understand? Because this mark is going to be necessary for you to buy and sell. All right? This mark is going to be necessary for you to ID yourself. There'll be no more papers or cards or passports. Everything is going to be located digitally on your own personal micro CHIP. All right, it's going to contain everything about you, height, weight. It's going to even contain bio information about your body. All right, heart rate, blood sugar levels, all of this stuff, as well as your medical records. Everything about you will be on this mark, all right, which is a chip. Everything about you, including your financial, your personal financial records. So this is why it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this mark is going to be tied to buying and selling, right, through the CBDC, which will be tracked and traced on your CHIP. All right. Verse 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So we see everything gearing up. The dollar has ran its course, or this final fiat currency, the U.S. Federal Reserve note, it has run its course, all right, is laden with heavy debt, which Habakkuk speaks about. I believe that's in verse 6. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these, let's get 5. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine. The he is the ruling elites, the powers that be of the nation of Edom. All right. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. He's transgressing by his ideologies, philosophies, and his doctrines. Right? Just like wanting to number every man, woman, and child on earth and to track them through an MOTB. You see? This is how he transgressed by wine. He also gives you Catholicism, which is him transgressing by wine. It gives you democracy as a form of governance. So yeah, he transgressed in many ways by his wine, his doctrines, ideologies, and philosophies. It says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. See? And his desire is what? To chip every man, woman, and child. He wants to keep track and manage all life on the face of the earth. Control people's countries as well as their resources, and tell the people when they can go out and when they can come in, when they can do this, when they can do that, how much you can spend here and use, how much you can spend there. You know, this is what he wants. And he's looking to enlarge his desire as hell, because it brings hell upon the people. All right, brings suffering, oppression. It brings just turmoil and dystopia upon the people. As we look here, real quick, this is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You understand? And so that's a clear sign that these people are the wicked. And the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, pursuant to Job 9 and 24. All right? So no one's rejoicing right now because the righteous are not in authority. The wicked beareth rule. And so this is why you see mourning, all right? Because he, being the wicked, is enlarging his desire as hell. But this is why it speaks in Isaiah, the 14th chapter, that hell from beneath is moved for him to meet him at his coming. So he's doing all of these things to create hell for people when hell is being prepared for him. All right, and he's going to deal with it. He's going to have to deal with the cup of the Most High's indignation, pursuant to Lamentations 4 and 21. So going back here to Habakkuk 2, verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Yeah, he's in everybody else's land, regulating and dictating to them how they should live and how their resources should be propagated. All right, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And then next, he's going to want to fit these people with the MOTB, which is a micro CHIP. So he's gathering all nations. He's heaping unto himself all people. And verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now this thick clay, from the Hebrew word ibatyat, means heavy depth. All right? And how did he laden himself with this heavy debt or thick clay? Through the Federal Reserve note in this fiat money system, which this debt was brought about with unjust dealing and unjust weight. The dollar in itself is an unjust weight, because the dollar is supposed to be a measure of gold. It's supposed to be a measure of gold. All right. So that measure has been tainted. It has been falsified through the overprinting of these Federal Reserve notes. And I mean, if you ever see the videos, it's like the printing presses, they don't stop. So they're day and night, day in and day out, day and night, printing money. All of this printing of money devalues the money that's in circulation. That's a false balance. I believe it's that. Anyway, let me see here right quick. Nope, that ain't it. I just want to look for something real quick. Nope, nope. Let me see. All right, here we go. Leviticus chapter 19. We'll start at 35. It says, Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat, in weight, or in measure. You see, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat, in weight, or in measure. And a dollar is a measure. It's a form of weight, all right? The $1 bill carries a certain weight. And I'm not talking about the weight of the bill, but a certain measure. And you got the 5, which is a different measure or weight, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 100, so forth and so on. All right, these are different denominations of the dollar, which carries different weight. But this man has done unrighteousness with his weight or his measure. All right, and this is why the U.S. is right now, what, $35 trillion in debt? $35 trillion from them constantly printing money. All right, that's theft. You know? Now check this out, verse 36. It says, just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. So, we also know that a false balance and a false weight is an abomination before the Most High. So, these devils, the powers that be, have a lot that they have to answer for. All right, and let's see here. That was it on that. Yeah, but this is all to bring about this ultimate testing of the faith of the children of Israel. To quote Apostle Tahar from years ago, that you heathens can get the mark. You're going to get jacked up, but this is why the term Jacob's trouble is in, was it Jeremiah 30 and 7? All right, because Jacob's trouble is tied to the hour of temptation. Now it's going to try the entire world, but try them for what? To see if their faith is what they say it is. To see if the children of Israel faith is up to par. All right? So this is why it's termed Jacob's trouble, even though the entire world is going to go into this trouble. It's going to be a testing of our faith. So, just to recap, that's pretty much it. The Hegelian dialectic is at play. All right. You've probably been getting a lot of crazy text, maybe even crazy emails, because it's tied to this. And this also has the this hacking situation, which again could be a false flag, an inside job, if you will. But this has the potential to lead to frame-ups. You know, because they have everybody in the U.S.'s information. You know, they can log into your accounts, post crazy shit, you know, use AI to, you know, make it look like you're doing something that you're not and put it on your social media. You know, this has major implications behind it. So we don't have to see how this plays out, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, because this very well could lead to the mandating of the MOTB, which I hope it does. This is what I'm hoping for. You know, in this hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, I hope that they mandate that mark this year. But if not, they won't go another year on this SWIFT system tied to the Federal Reserve note. It won't make it another year. And countries that not a part of BRICS are beating down the doors trying to get in BRICS, as if BRICS is the ark, you know, and they see the financial rain starting to come down. And so, you know, as the Lord said, we're going to wait. Wait ye upon me, said the Lord. You know, but with that, I'm going to end it right there. I pray that you was edified. To the next one, Shalom.